Hello, and welcome to the Ohio Alerts training presented by the Ohio Amber Alert Advisory Committee. This video presentation will cover Amber Alert, Endangered Missing Child Alert, Endangered Missing Adult Alert, and the Ohio Blue Alert. Each of these alerts is an important tool to engage the public as a partner in helping find missing children, missing adults in harm's way, and even seek information when a law enforcement officer is critically injured, missing, or killed. At the end of this presentation, whether you're a law enforcement officer, dispatcher, media professional, alert partner, or an interested member of your local community, you'll have a better understanding of the alert programs, how they work, and what you can do to help. The Ohio Amber Alert Advisory Committee's main charter is to coordinate, administer, and improve the State Amber Alert program to assist local law enforcement agencies when they're faced with an abducted child. Remember, Amber Alert means a child has just been abducted. Be on the lookout. Although rare, stranger abductions constitute the most serious situations where an Amber Alert would be used. Even though they are more prevalent, family abductions, as opposed to custody disputes where the child is believed to be in danger of serious physical harm or death, are just as dangerous to the child and qualify for an Amber Alert. This alert program is critical to recovering the abducted child safely.
Anytime we get a child missing, it's a high priority. We start working on that quickly. We send officers to the deputies to the house to look at and see where the child might be. We want to cover all the bases prior to sending out an Amber Alert.
Well, an Amber Alert is a means to notify everybody of something that requires immediate attention, a missing child, a child that's been abducted. There's a limited amount of time, and getting that word out to as many people as possible increases the possibility that we're going to return that child safely.
I work for the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and we house the Missing Persons Unit for Missing Persons Clearinghouse. Our involvement in Amber Alerts, I am the CART coordinator for BCI, and we assist local law enforcement agencies in whatever way they need it.
Well, when an Amber Alert goes out to law enforcement, it tells me that there's an urgent need to find a child that's been missing, and that it takes the community and law enforcement working together to try to locate that child in the short amount of time as possible. Very, very imperative that we find that child as soon as we can, so that we can make sure we return the child back safely to their parents.
Under the PROTECT Act, the Department of Justice was charged to create a seamless network of voluntary organizations to create AMBER plans in every state. Today we have over 120 AMBER plans throughout the United States, the territories.
I became involved with the Amber Alert following my daughter's abduction. In 2002, my daughter was abducted from our home, and as a parent, I didn't know what I could possibly do. I mean, what does a parent do? If you asked any parent out there, I'm sure they would say, well, you know, find my child, of course. Well, how do you go about that, and what's the most effective and the most important way you could do that? And the morning that Elizabeth was taken was the first Amber Alert in Utah. At that time, it was called Rachel Alert. And we, as parents, had no idea of what was happening. It was the first one in our state. And to me, following that, I learned that really an Amber Alert is the first line of defense for a parent. And it's just incredibly important, the relationship between the public, law enforcement, and the media. It's really a collaborative effort that in the end, you hope that the end result is that these predators out there know that somebody is going to be out there looking for them. And hopefully it will keep them from even abducting the child. That's the hope in the end result. But for a parent who has a missing child, it means that all of these eyes are out there looking for their child, and that is hope. That is truly hope. As a parent, I learned that there are many things that happen when your child is abducted, but to get that information out to everyone as quickly as soon as possible is the most important thing you can do. And it's really the difference between life and death in many cases. So to me, the Amber Alert is a wonderful resource for parents when their children go missing.
Being from a rural county, such as several of the sheriff's offices are around the state, the public does respond relatively fast. They see a suspicious person or they see that vehicle, they can tell us where it's been in the last 5 to 10 minutes, and we can send all over the available units that direction, as well as update the rest of the law enforcement community.
Statistics show that that first 3 hours is extremely important. That first 30 minutes is monumental. So get the word out as quickly as possible.
The Amber Alert is triggered, there's criteria, but the big one is it is a known abduction, that you know the child has been abducted. And that puts everyone on, all law enforcement on a heightened alert, and that's why we want to get it out to as many people as we can.
The more information that can be put out, and the more agencies that receive the information, just helps in the effort to find the missing child. So the communication piece with all of law enforcement throughout the state of Ohio is very, very important in making sure that that child is reunited with its family.
There are a number of states that have been leaders in advancing the Amber Alert program nationwide. Ohio is certainly one of those states that has played a very active role in advancing the Amber Alert program. Today, because of the network, we're recovering record numbers of children, and we're responding much more appropriately than we were in 2004 when the program was created.
To me, an Amber Alert is a wonderful opportunity. It's a tool, probably one of the most important tools that we could have in recovering children.
The Ohio Amber Alert program is designed to work within Ohio's home rule approach, and each jurisdiction has the authority to issue an Amber Alert. The state has adopted criteria for an Amber Alert, which is in line with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and the U.S. Department of Justice. Agencies that act outside of this criteria risk harsh public and media scrutiny, as well as possible legal issues. Ohio's program is strong, and our sheriffs, police chiefs, and other agencies strictly guard the Amber Alert program so when it is needed, it will work and provide the best chance of safe recovery for the abducted child. Let's take a look at the criteria. Law enforcement confirms that the child is under 18 years of age. Law enforcement believes the abduction poses a credible threat of immediate danger of serious bodily harm or death to the child. There is sufficient descriptive information about the child, the suspect, and/or the circumstances surrounding the abduction to believe that activation of the alert will help locate the child. A law enforcement agency determines that the child is not a runaway and has not been abducted as a result of a family abduction unless the investigation determines that the child is in immediate danger of serious bodily harm or death. These criteria are crucial to maintaining the integrity of the system and prevent overuse, resulting in the public becoming desensitized to the alerts. Let's take a look at what happens during an Amber Alert. In this scenario, a child is dropped off by their school bus at a neighborhood bus stop. As the bus pulls away, a car approaches and a man asks if the child can help him find his lost dog and shows a picture of the dog. When the child gets near the door, the man grabs the child and races off, abducting the child. A neighbor who noticed the bus a moment earlier sees the abduction and gets a partial license plate from the car as it speeds off. He then runs to the child's home to alert the parents. The parents call 911. Local police respond and determine what occurred. After putting the information out immediately to local law enforcement, the detective on scene decides to issue an Amber Alert. Let's look at the criteria as they pertain to this situation. Law enforcement confirms that the child is under 18 years of age. The child involved is elementary school aged. Law enforcement believes the abduction poses a credible threat of immediate danger of serious bodily harm or death to the child. A stranger has forcibly abducted the child. This fact alone indicates the child is in danger. There is sufficient descriptive information about the child, the suspect, and/or the circumstances surrounding the abduction to believe that activation of the alert will help locate the child. The car description and partial license plate by the witness, as well as the child and suspect description, fulfill this need. A law enforcement agency determines that the child is not a runaway and has not been abducted as a result of a family abduction unless the investigation determines that the child is in immediate danger of serious bodily harm or death. This is a witnessed abduction, not a family or custody situation. The detective contacts dispatch, who enters the child victim into NCIC using the AA code and initiates an Amber Alert. EAS is activated. A media blast email goes out. Digital billboards and ODOT road signs are turned on. All law enforcement agencies are notified through Ohio Leads and OLEG. A toll-free tip line is activated. The Amber Alert website is activated with the information, and the wireless emergency alert is also activated, along with all secondary notification systems such as Nixle, Ohio Lottery Terminals, Facebook, and Twitter. This action, as a supplement to any local alerting initiative, gives the child the best chance of safe recovery. The previous scenario is a time-compressed example of what occurs during an Amber Alert activation. As you saw, multiple agencies are involved, as well as a multitude of notification systems, such as the Emergency Alert System, Leads broadcast, radio broadcast, media broadcasts, wireless emergency alert, ODOT digital signs, Ohio Lottery Terminals, digital billboards through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, toll-free contact numbers, emails, and many other systems. It is important the law enforcement agency have somebody accessible and ready to make decisions associated with the Amber Alert. These decisions include what areas of the state are activated, what telephone number the toll-free tip line will be routed to, are there any other states that need activated, and if the Child Abduction Response Team or CART team has been activated. This is a regional team made up of agencies that are willing to send help in the form of detectives, dispatchers, searchers, and other resources. More information can be found concerning the CART program by calling 855-BCI-OHIO. The Ohio Amber Alert Advisory Committee is dedicated to ensuring the Amber Alert system is established and ready to go at a moment's notice to assist local agencies in safely recovering abducted children. The media, Amber Alert partners, and our communities are crucial to the success of Amber Alerts, and it is very important when you hear that familiar tone or see Amber Alert on a sign or a billboard to pay attention and remember, a child has just been abducted. Be on the lookout.
When Elizabeth was abducted, she was gone for 9 months. And one of the things that we were constantly trying to do was to keep the public involved. And so I think that when you look at missing children, especially those first few hours, that the connection between the media, law enforcement, and the public is just vital. I mean, I couldn't think of anything more important when Elizabeth was abducted that morning than getting the media, get the word out there, get those eyes looking, because each of us can make a difference. And for those parents who have a missing child, you know, you're just in this living nightmare, and that child is in a huge nightmare, and you want to bring them home safe, and you want to stop the pain and suffering that's going on.